We have all this month been looking at some of the entries in the StudentCam contest winners. We had nearly 1,000, and we've been doing this for a number of years now here on C-SPAN to get young people to share with us their views of the country. And in this case, we asked them to send a message to President Obama. We're going to continue this week to show you some of the third prize winners, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Professor Marisi.
I've always considered myself as an American. I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I'm reminded of my heritage every single day of my life, every time I hear my name. My name is Sheema Golbaba. I take AP history classes, and I love to indulge myself in politics, history, and government. And because of my heritage, I strongly believe improving relations between the United States and Iran is crucial to the international community. I idolize President Barack Obama because of his ability to listen to various perspectives. So I decided to use him as my model and do the same thing.
If I could talk to the President of the United States concerning Iran, I would tell him, do not put Iran in the category of making one statement about it, just like President Bush did, by saying Iran is an axis of evil. By that one statement, you are defining an entire nation of people, of varieties of mindsets and cultures.
We're joined by Sheema Golbaba this morning, a second prize winner whose school is in Jenks, Oklahoma. Good morning, Sheema.
Good morning.
How are you reminded of your Iranian heritage every day?
It begins at the breakfast table with the Persian traditional breakfast with Persian breads, feta cheese, and tomato and mint. And I remember my heritage when I speak to my parents in Farsi, and more so recently, I'm reminded of it through the media.
Why is the relationship between Iran and the U.S. the most urgent issue for President Obama to address?
Well, I think Iran is in a vital geographical and cultural position in the Middle East. Iran has very significant and ancient history that has contributed to America's access and progress that it has made in the past few years.
How did you conduct research for this interview?
My research for the work has been in the making since I was born. As you could see in the documentary, my dad has kept me involved in world politics. I read news magazines weekly, and I watch the evening news daily. So, and as far as research for specifically Iran, that has been taught to me through Iranian gatherings and things like that.
And who did you speak with for this documentary?
I spoke to various people for this documentary. I talked to a Christian pastor who was actually Iranian. I talked to a white American woman who married an Iranian. I also interviewed Azar Nafisi, best-selling author for Reading Lolita in Tehran. So I interviewed many people. And I also interviewed the other side of the story, Jeff Appelkamp, who's very active in the Republican Party.
What did you learn from the Iranian pastor that you interviewed?
Pastor Safa revealed to me that despite the apparent religious differences that Iran and the U.S. have, we have several similarities, such as denomination choices. Iran has large populations of Christians and Jews and many other religions, and many people don't know that.
And how did your interview with Azar Nafisi impact your documentary?
Well, I was very fortunate to have an interview with Mrs. Nafisi. I believe it strengthened the piece as she portrayed how the media's propaganda has fueled the flames between the United States and Iran. And to me, her perspective is significant, not only in the matters that I present in my documentary, but also her firsthand experiences and affluence in the literary world also adds credibility to my piece.
How do you think the large population of Iranian youth can impact their government?
Well, I think the youth has great potential in directing the future path of Iran. In the 1979 Iranian Revolution, a large portion of the revolutionaries were in fact college students. So today's youth can play just as big of a role as their parents did in improving their own conditions and the country's relation to the world, but in a different way. And the internet has especially been a big factor in the youth, or for the youth, and the internet and the youth both promote a lot of progress.
What do you think is the first step toward building a positive relationship between Iran and the U.S.?
Like I've said before, dialogue is the most important step. The key to resolving any problem between two parties is discussing the issues and voicing their concerns. So there are a lot of issues between Iran and the U.S. that need to be addressed, but we need to start somewhere, and hopefully the current administration will have better luck than the previous one.
Thank you. Congratulations, Sheema.
Thank you very much.
You can watch Sheema Golbaba's video and the other StudentCam 2009 winning videos at www.studentcam.org.